Hello everyone! In today's video, I'm going to share top 5 bad money mistakes or habits that could be crushing your 2023 money goals. Plus, I will share my personal experience. Hopefully, it can help you tackle these issues in your real life as well. Why are we still not getting rich? Probably you're making some of the mistakes that I'm sharing right now. My name is Charlene. As a CFA charter holder, I have a decade of experience in the finance industry across Beijing, Hong Kong, Singapore, and now I'm based here in Zurich, Switzerland. I've also got experience in working in some of the big financial firms like JP Morgan, sharing money tips and explaining complicated finance concepts into easy to understand language and empowering everyday people to be more financially free is always my passion. Today, we're diving into 5 money habits that could be holding you back from getting rich. Stick around till the end because the last one might just be the biggest mistake you're making right now, so don't miss it. Let's get started. The first common mistake is failing to know the difference between Opex and capex. Operating expenses Opex and capital expenditures capex. There are 2 accounting terms but are super relevant to our daily life. Opex refers to the money you spend regularly, kind of like the cost a business owner has to keep their company running. It includes the rent, salaries for employees, utility bills, and so on. In our personal life, it could be your daily expenses such as groceries, transportation, rent, utilities, or even a Gucci bag, a car, a 5-star hotel stay, or the latest iPhone. These are all Opex. On the other hand, capex is like making an investment for future gain. Let's say you own a business and decide to buy a new office building, develop software, or put money into research and development. That's capex. In our day-to-day lives, expenses on education, starting a business, or investing in real estate or stocks are examples of capex. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine you get a bonus by the end of the year. You could use it for a fancy vacation or to buy the latest iPhone, which is Opex. Or you could put that money towards furthering your education or starting a side business, that's capex, which could lead to long-term benefits. I can still recall my early career days in Hong Kong, fresh out of my master's degree, earning around 16k Hong Kong dollars, which is roughly 2,000 USD per month. I had a coworker who earned similar to me, but she had a different approach to spending. She'd eat McDonald's every day to save around 500 USD per month. In 3 months, she had saved enough for a small Louis Vuitton or Gucci bag. After a year, she had accumulated about 4 or 5 nice bags. Sure, it makes you feel great in the short term, but years later, when she tried to sell them, she couldn't even get 1/3 of the original price back. So my first piece of advice, put more focus on capex, things that give you a return in the future, and cut back on Opex, those everyday spends that don't give you a return. The next common mistake is failing to diversify income and ignore risk management. Relying on just one paycheck can be a gamble, especially in uncertain economic times like now. Remember those headlines that I mentioned earlier? Big name companies cutting jobs left and right. Google parent Alphabet is cutting 12,000 jobs. UBS to cut more than half of Credit Suisse workforce. Elon Musk says he's cut about 80% of Twitter staff. Big companies are like this. It's even more common among small and medium-sized businesses. It's a hard reality that risk is everywhere. If you're not prepared, it can damage you very, very seriously. And speaking of realities, there's a buzzword in China for 2023 that really hit home. It's called 中产返贫. In English, 中产 means middle class and 返贫 means back to poverty. It means the middle class falling back into poverty. Over the past few years, a concerning trend has emerged among tech professionals in China. Picture this. Many of these individuals enjoy decent salaries. They are the primary breadwinners, supporting stay-at-home partners, and maybe 1 or 2 kids. They live in prime locations like Shanghai or Beijing. Suddenly, they face layoffs. It's a heartbreaking situation. After years of effort, climbing the ladder, securing a home, providing for their family, everything seems to be slipping away. With huge mortgage payments looming, children's education costs, and minimum saving, losing a job becomes a crisis. If you've anchored everything on that single income stream, the consequences of a job loss can be a real disaster. So, how do you avoid this? The answer is diversifying. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Open up other streams of income. Consider side hustles or earning a passive income. For example, why not trying freelancing, starting from a blog or YouTube channel, renting out that extra room, or putting your money in stocks that pay dividends. Having multiple streams of income can be your safety net, offering stability during tough times. I will share more side hustle ideas with you in my upcoming videos, so subscribe to my channel so you will not miss any updates. Here is something that really surprised me. When I moved from Hong Kong to Zurich in 2022, I found out that many of my colleagues here in Zurich have side businesses, whether it was running a photography studio, a niche software startup, or offering specialized consulting services. Interestingly, a good number of them work part-time, maybe 60% or 80% in corporates, leaving room to run their own business on the side. It sounds pretty cool, right? And it was not the case when I was in Hong Kong. The next common mistake is ignoring the power of compounding interest. Starting early in managing your finances can really pay off, and that's just because of the power of compounding interest. Reflecting on my previous co-worker story, if she had invested just $500 in the stock market in 2014 per month, expecting a modest annual return of 6%, where would she be now? To further explain the difference between spending, saving, and investing, well, spending is very easy to understand, right? Let's look at a basic scenario. Imagine you save $200 every month. If you left that $200 in a bank account without any interest, after 30 years, you would have accumulated $72,000. On the other hand, by investing that same $200 monthly at a 6% annual return, you'd have a sum of around $190,000 after 30 years. Here is the formula. It demonstrates the power of regular investments and compounding. It's more than double that amount when you place it into a regular savings account, right? Considering a bigger amount, just putting away $1,000 every month in your banking saving account, no interest for 30 years, it gives you $360,000. Well, if you invested $1,000 every month with a 6% annual return, you'd approach nearly $1 million. It's almost $950,000 in 30 years. Sure, some people might say that, oh, because of inflation, $1 million today won't be the same in 30 years, and they have a point. But think about just leaving that $200 or $1,000 in a basic bank saving account, earning very little interest. In any case, you have to face the inflation risk anyways. The next common mistake is heavy on debt. All right, for those of you who love a bit of a risk, you might be thinking about using leverage or margin, or we say debt, to boost your returns, like in real estate or even in the stock market. But today, let's chat about the more everyday debt. I'm talking about credit card debts. Did you hear about the shocking number of people in the US heavy in debt? Yeah, it's the thing. And you know what? Americans have taken on a record amount of credit card debt. In the first quarter of 2023, credit card balances stood at $986 billion US dollars. Relying on those high interest debts like credit cards can send you down a slippery slope, making it tough to ever see the end of those payments. Picture this. You've got balances on a bunch of credit cards and you're just paying the minimum payments. The thing is that interest keeps going up, and before you know it, you're in this never-ending loop of debt. To be honest, personally, I'm not really into the whole debt thing, except for the property mortgage I mentioned earlier. And hey, with the way interest rates have been increasing recently due to inflation, it's definitely something we want to be mindful of. Just like I talk about the magic of compounding interest for your savings, it's the same for debt. Those credit card interests, they can snowball fast and get out of your control. The best advice, live within your means, keep it simple. The next common mistake is watching too much financial influencers online. While some of the previous mistakes might keep you at your current level, this one, it has the potential to wipe out your entire wealth overnight. Stay alert. Do you want 6 packs in a week? Do you want to get rich in a month through investments? These kind of claims are probably everywhere online. But as a banking professional, also a fitness enthusiast on the side, I can tell you firsthand, these goals are unrealistic. Without a solid understanding of asset allocation, risk management, and the risk-return profile of different asset classes and financial instruments, and your own risk profile, you might get rich in a month. But that's not investing, that's speculating, that's gambling. And the same if you're bypassing the fundamentals of muscles training, nutrition, and cardio, expecting to get a 6-pack abs by merely repeating a specific exercise, you're going to be disappointed as well. When I come across this type of content online, it doesn't just bother me, it genuinely makes me sad. People are being misled by empty promises that simply don't align with reality. Building wealth or achieving fitness goals requires knowledge, effort, and time, not shortcuts and empty promises. Falling for these get-rich-quick schemes can lead to impulsive decisions that can hurt your financial stability. Never invest in something that you don't understand. That's also one of the key reasons why I started my YouTube channel. Put it simple, I really want to be a responsible finance content creator. I graduated from a journalism school and then I learned finance by myself. So I know firsthand the frustration and challenges people face when they start to learn how to invest without a finance background. As a banking professional for 10 years and also a CFA charter holder, I'm here to help you skip all the mistakes I made and avoid all the detours I've experienced and feel confident about finance eventually. Remember, just as Rome wasn't built in a day, building wealth takes time. If this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. I'd love to hear from you. Please drop a comment below with any questions or share your own money stories. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insightful content. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you soon!